to him before, and he had always pretended not to hear. But this time he curled his upper lip.
Why are you always so good?
Emmy was too startled to respond. The rat shrugged one furry shoulder.
It doesn't get you anywhere. Just look at you, missing recess to study words you could spell in your sleep, and the only thing that happens is you get ignored.
Emmy looked away. It was true. Her parents never answered the letters she sent, even though she copied them over for neatness and gave them to Miss Barmy to mail. Her teacher kept forgetting her name, even though she had made a placard for her desk that said Emmy in big red letters edged with silver glitter. And she didn't want to tell the rat, but she didn't mind missing recess at all. For Emmy, recess was a time when she felt more alone than ever.
The bad ones get all the attention. Try being bad for once. You might like it.
Emmy thought about being bad. It had its appeal. If she were bad, she could stick out her tongue at Miss Barmy. She could call her parents long distance whenever she wanted. She could climb on her desk in school and scream until the other kids had to notice her.
No one will like me if I'm bad.
No one likes you anyway.
Emmy frowned.
Well, they don't dislike me.
That's right. Nobody likes you. Nobody dislikes you. Nobody cares about you either way. You're a big nothing, if you ask me.
I didn't.
The rat's whiskers twitched.
That's the first time I've heard you sound like anything but a piece of wet bread. Why don't you stand up for yourself more often?
Listen, it's not like I don't try.
Yesterday, when that girl with the ponytail butted in line, you let her. And when that kid who sits across from you, the soccer star, the freckled one with hair that looks like a haystack?
Joe Benson.
Yeah, him. Well, when Haystack Hair was walking backward and stepped on your foot, you said sorry.
I was just being nice,
said Emmy, stung.
You're too nice. A little meanness is good for the soul. I highly recommend it.
Emmy lifted her chin.
Being mean doesn't get you anywhere. Nobody pets you. Nobody plays with you.
I get what I want,
said the rat, showing his long yellow teeth.
I get respect, which is more than I can say for you.
Emmy glared at him.
You get respect? You live in a cage.
The rat looked stunned.
Well, it's true. Don't tell me you haven't noticed. You know, the bars, the lock on the door.
The rat's whiskers trembled.
You're not being very nice.
Nice? I thought a little meanness was good for the...
Most people don't mention it. Most people know better than to taunt a rodent about his unfortunate situation.
Look, you were the one who said...
It's not my fault I'm locked up.
The rat's voice quavered pathetically.
I committed no crime. Have I survived kidnapping from the nest, unjust imprisonment, and absolutely appalling food?
He gave his dish of pellets a contemptuous kick.
Only to be mocked by a little child?
I'm bigger than you,
Emmy began hotly.
And you were the one who said I shouldn't be so nice.
But not to me. It's different when you're mean to me.
Oh, right.
There was a thunder of footsteps and a clatter of voices in the hall. Emmy watched resignedly as her classmates poured in, laughing and talking. They all seemed friendly enough, to one another, but no matter how Emmy tried, they just looked right through her as though she weren't there. Why were things so different here? At her old school, she had had lots of friends. But then her parents had inherited all that money and moved across town to live in great-great-Uncle William's old mansion on the shores of Grayson Lake. And after that, a lot of things had changed.
Maybe it's me,
Emmy thought dismally.
Maybe I've turned into some horrible person and I don't even know it.
She opened a book and bent her head, letting her straight brown hair fall around her face like a curtain. But as the children around her quieted down, she heard a small sob. Emmy peeked sideways. The rat had retreated to the far corner of his cage, his face buried in his forepaws. He looked as if he were sleeping, but Emmy saw the rat's gray shoulders heave.